I'm wondering from messing up. It goes so fast. For a second, I am dancing in your arms. The next one we were kissing in your car, and I am hitting rewind. Make it last. 1 minute we were perfect in your bed. The next one you were local with something I wish I never said. Ah, damn. You got me feeling high on life, riding that pina colada silent night. I'm so sure I'll be freaking out. You're only one drink from messing up. You make me blow like dynamite, riding that pina colada silent night. I'm so sure I'll be freaking out. You're only one drink from messing up. Get a little lost in these translations.
Yes. People, come on, let's go to this Friday. Come on, what are you doing? What you now they do there? I'm ready. Yes, this is Intercontinental Sport TV. People, you're welcome onto this show. Yeah, they don't need the building. I swear down, not me alone. The full team is here. I'm talking about ISTV crew. But first, to all our viewers, to all our followers, big up, respect. Today, beautiful people. Smash the like on the video first of all. Yes, let's do this once again. I have in the building, Robbie's here, Shaya is here, Opiade Barry is also here, Prof is also here. Hey, he's in the building. Come on, big up people. You're ready. I spread out. I'm not here alone. No shakings. Tonight, Man City go collect them. Arsenal, they are ready. They are winning. Tonight, we are going to talk about the EPL League teams. Halftime scorecard. Is it A? Is it A plus? Is it B? Is it D? Is it C? Or F? You know what I mean? F9 parallel. Oh my goodness, I know their club that is going to collect F tonight. Is it Chelsea? No, I don't think so. But first, please subscribe to the channel anytime. If you are watching this for the first time, anywhere you are, this is Intercontinental Sports TV. This is how we do it. We give you music, beautiful vibes, good analysts here in the building. But first, let me welcome that man, an Arsenal guy. He's going to tell me tonight, Man City is going to collect him. Is he ready? Okay, talk to me. Are you ready?
Definitely done. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Can't wait to watch my boys in action tonight.
You didn't hear them, people. They said they'll go hear them tonight. All right. That being said, Robbie, talk to me. Manchester United is playing tomorrow. You're welcome. Robbie, talk to me.
Yeah, good evening to you, the Don. Good evening to you, Okpe. Well, it's good to be back on the platform once again, talking sports. And I love the vibe on the group, and I think it's a good one. It's a good one. It is a beautiful one. I wish people could see what we're doing on the group, and they just get to know how they get to see the positive vibes on the group. Yes, we banter, we talk, but I think at the end of the day, it is one way we also keep ourselves very happy. We are good students of the game. We are good followers of the game. So it's good to be back on the program once again.
All right, Robbie. Thank you so much. Shayomi Jora, can you hear me? Chelsea fan to the call, to the bone. It's not going anywhere. Shaye, talk to me. You are not going anywhere. You are still a Chelsea fan.
Well, for now, I'm still a Chelsea fan. Newcastle have been trying to get me to. Yeah, they've been trying to woo me to come over, but I'm still so far I'm still a blue. Well, I think like Robbie said, the banter on the group is really impressive. Like if people could actually see what goes down in our WhatsApp group, they would just be amused. Yeah. And I think it actually sets the tone for all the shows. So yeah, I'm really I can't wait to talk football this evening. I can't wait to talk about Arsenal and Man City. I know we talked about them over the previous weeks, but I just feel Arsenal right now, they are, in my opinion, title favorites. The momentum is far too strong. They are looking to also strengthen, which would, because my doubt about them was about injuries. I felt if they got a few injuries, they might not be able to win the title. But now they seem to be strengthening. So I feel right now it's Arsenal's title to lose. People keep saying they're going to face Man City twice, but look, right now with the way both teams are playing, I feel Arsenal might even beat Man City twice in those games, because right now City are not playing. They're not playing so well. They're not meeting up with their previous lofty standards. So right now I feel Arsenal are bang on favorite. So I'm rooting for them. Even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I think they will see this out.
All right. That being said, that's Shaye Omijora, a Chelsea fan to the call. With that, I'm going to play this music to welcome these two gentlemen, Prof and AEs. Prof, talk to me. AEs, talk to me at the same time. Both of you are welcome to the show. What's going on? Both of you are welcome at the same time. Prof and AEs, talk to me. AEs, can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you.
Yes, you're welcome to the show, bro. All right. Last man standing, Iris. This music is for you. With the vibes. Bring it on. I'm going to say this for Iris. Come on, Iris. A Liverpool fan to the call. The call to the flesh is happy.
Hey, the Don.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy Friday, everyone. Good to be
All right, let's get this straight started. Let's start with this Premier League ScoreCard halftime. That's what we want to talk about today. You're welcome, Prof. Big up, Irate, Okwe Adebari. Big up, Robbie, all the way from that city. I think it's Ibadan right now. You should be in Ibadan by now. Yeah.
Is it Ibadan now?
Yeah, the great city. I think that's the biggest city in West Africa, or is it in Africa?
Yes, in West Africa. No, in West Africa. Cairo is the biggest city in Africa. Ibadan is the biggest city in West Africa.
All right, you're all welcome to the show. First, we want to talk about this great team, but I'm going to start with this club called Irate. Which club should we start with? to talk about. Irate, which club do you think we should talk about? Talking about how they've, strive for the first half of the season. I think we should start with. Is it we should start with alphabetical order? No, I
In
don't
my,
want.
if you want to start with my opinion, we are starting with Newcastle.
All right, let's start with Newcastle people. Smash the like on the video. Now let's just see. I'm going to start with you, Okwe Adebari. What score? I have this. Let me show you what I have, Okwe. Before you move into this, I'm going to show you quickly what we. Let's look at this. I have A, which is excellent. I have B, which is good. I have C, which is average, below average, and F9 parallel. You remember is it in secondary school? If they tell you F9 parallel, oh boy, you don't enter one chance. So yeah. All right, okay. I'm going to start with you with Newcastle. Newcastle. Let me show you the table. They are really, really flying right now, and I'm scared. So talk to me, okay. What are you going to give these people?
I think it would be a crime if I don't rate them excellent, if I don't give them an A. I'll give them an A because, first of all, we didn't expect them to be third on the table.
Can you imagine?
In recent years, in the last decade or so, the truth is that Newcastle United have been in and out of the Premier League. And, finally, they made their return and then they've been able to steady themselves since 2018. But even though coming back to the Premier League, they've struggled. First of all, the first thing they've tried to do is to survive relegation.
Yeah.
They kept doing this up until last season. January last season, that's when things turned around. And I think, first of all, what has been responsible for their trajectory, first of all, has to be Eddie Howe. We need to give all due respect to Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
One of the youngest managers in the Premier League, but, someone who is very confident in his abilities as a coach, someone who knows how to transcend his ideas from his mind to the team that he's playing for. We saw how well he did with Bournemouth. Things went sour. There's always an end to everything, and it was time for him to leave Bournemouth. Taking over Newcastle, even before the Saudi takeover happened, he was already beginning to steady the ship with the crop of players he had. Let's not forget that even this current Newcastle United team is not so different from the team that Eddie Howe did take over from. Yes, they've had good additions in the names of Bruno Guimaraes, Isaac, and one man that I love so much, Sven Botman. Sven Botman is a 23-year-old Dutch centre-back, left-footed, but that guy is so efficient. I think he has to be one of the greatest steals in the Premier League this season, talking about signings. That's someone who I would probably expected to be playing for the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, or Manchester United, as the case may be. But obviously, Newcastle were sharper in trying to get to him. And so far, so good. They've been fantastic in both home and away form. So it's not like Newcastle have been relying on St. James Park and the atmosphere at St. James Park. They've been doing fantastically well. Against the top six side as well, they've been doing well. They gave a very, very tough game to Arsenal. Fine, they lost to Manchester City. But then again, they've showed how good they are so far this season. I think you just need to give them an A. And we both know that.
Are we saying this A plus or just A? Because I have a comment here.
No, an A, not an A plus.
A plus.
I'll be giving an A plus if Newcastle United go ahead and win the Carabao Cup. Then if we're having this review session after the Carabao Cup final, maybe I can then say yes, an A plus to them. But so far so good. You need to give them the credit where it's due.
All right. Yeah, that being said, straight up to Ace, how do you see Newcastle this season, Ace? Is he A for you? What do you think?
Well, looking at their history, looking at where they're coming from, being a mid-table team, and the takeover last season into this season, they've been able to keep it low. They've been able to, make the right signings, the players that fit the philosophy they have currently, and bringing Eddie Howe in. He has really instilled his philosophy in the players that they have currently. Definitely, we know they're going to move away from this space. But in comparison with Manchester City, when the owner took over Manchester City, it took a gradual step. It took a while before Manchester City could even break into the top four. But look at them, just a season and a half after the owners have taken over, they are in the top four already, and they are ready to compete. They played most of the top six. drew Arsenal, lost against Manchester City, lost against Liverpool, lost against I think they drew against Manchester United.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if Manchester. Oh, they drew against Manchester United. I can't remember their result against Tottenham. I think they defeated Tottenham at the Tottenham Stadium. So they've shown competitiveness. They've shown that okay, with the squad we have, despite not spending that much, we can make the best out of this. And you could see the recent form.
Yeah.
They've dropped points recently. So
Yeah.
A plus is a bit far off. But looking at where they're coming from, I'll give them a B. To be
A
sincere, a B
B. A
because
B.
yes,
Okay.
B is good. It's good, very good for them.
All right, B. Let's is there anybody wants to talk about Newcastle so far this season? Irate and Okpe. Is there anybody wants to talk about or Prof?
Yeah,
Do you say
yeah.
anything about
Yeah,
Newcastle?
for me, I mean, for me, Newcastle deserve as much credit as Arsenal. To be honest, I mean, look at where they're coming from. To be in that position that they are, for me, is definitely an A. You know, they've only lost one game. They have the best defensive record. So for me, the distance that they've covered at this moment in time, for me,
Mm,
equals the same distance that Arsenal has covered to be on the top of the table. And for that reason, I think they deserve an A.
they deserve an
They're
A.
fantastic.
All right, all right,
Um,
Irate.
yeah, in my opinion, definitely.
Because you said sometimes ago you want to cross to Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, they have just been fantastic. When the takeover happened, I had doubts last season if Eddie Howe was the manager to move them to the next level. But
Mm,
what he has done with this team is phenomenal. You know, right now, I think they've kept 10 straight clean sheets, and
absolute.
they have the best defense in the whole of Europe this season. I mean, Newcastle United, who would have said that? Who would have thought this would happen a couple of years ago? And if you look at the players they are doing it with, I was having a conversation with an Arsenal fan, and we are talking about who was going to be the manager of the season if, let's say, Arsenal win the title and Newcastle make the top four. And I made a point to him. I said, how many Newcastle players would make Arsenal's 11 right now? Probably
Mm,
one, probably
mm.
just Trippier. That's to show you the amount of work, good work Eddie Howe has done with this team. And I know people are saying, no, they are yet to win anything and all that. I mean, this is all about 19 games, halfway into the season. Okay, 20 games for Newcastle. And so far, with what they have done, they've been outstanding. And in my opinion, they've been the best team in the Premier League, in my opinion, with the statistics they have this season. So, definitely right now, I'm giving them an A plus.
A plus. Okpe, do you want to say something as well about
I
Newcastle?
think aside Trippier, I think someone else who we should expect that can probably break into the Arsenal starting 11 or maybe challenge for a place has to be Bruno Guimaraes. He has had such a huge impact in that team, honestly, and he's been a game changer for them. And his impact in the team, I see it as it's a natural occurrence, and I say a natural occurrence in the sense that when you have someone who is so good, someone who is coming with international experience for both Brazil and playing for a club in France like Olympique Lyonnais, and you know that that person is probably miles ahead better compared to you, he has affected his teammates positively. His teammates have come up to speed to his own quality and are trying to be as good as he is, if not better. So I think we need to give kudos to Bruno Guimaraes as well, and big ups to every other player in the Newcastle team that has stepped up. Joe Willock,
Joel Linton.
Almiron as well.
Linton.
Almiron.
Found a new position for himself. Callum Wilson has been consistent when he's in good form and not injury prone. Alexander Isak, so far so good, as well. I mean, all round good performance from everyone in that Newcastle team. Big ups to them.
All right, let's move on to this side. Let me pick Brentford this season. Brentford this season. Sheye, about Brentford this season, what's your take on Brentford? What score was their scorecard this season?
Yeah, Brentford.
They are nobody.
This is their second. Yeah, they're currently eighth. Their second season in the top flight. I feel last season when they came up, they were one of the favorites to probably go down. I think that's always the thing for teams that are promoted. But I think they've shown that they can actually compete with the big boys. They are really dogged. They are determined. They are not afraid to play long ball football. They are not afraid to actually play out from the back as well. I think they are a very they can be a bit varied in how they play the game. In Ivan Toney, they have one of the best strikers in the league. I feel is someone who you can given his physique, given his eyes, given given his build, you are inclined to think he's a target man. But I feel there are several facets to his game. They have Brian Mbeumo, who tends to play alongside him in a 3-5-2 at times.
Yeah.
Their manager Thomas Frank is someone who is tactically astute. He can switch tactics depending on the opposition, depending on the game state as well. So I think they're a really really impressive side. They beat Man U earlier this season. I think it was 4-0 if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, they don't. So they also beat Man City. Came from behind to. Oh, no, sorry. They scored first rather in that game. They had really good chances to have even scored more. They that was before the World Cup hiatus. So they're a really good side. They tend not to lose leads after they go in front. So they know how to manage games effectively. So they're a really good side in my opinion, and I will give them a B plus because look, this is their second season in the Premier League. So
I only have B. I
Oh,
only
no
have
B plus.
B or C.
No,
No B
B plus.
plus. I don't
Oh,
get
I'll give
blood
them a B
tonic.
then.
I don't get blood tonic. Only
I'll give
B.
them a
or
B.
C.
I'll give
No.
them a B then.
Brentford's B. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm reading one message right here that says all clubs that are above Liverpool should be collected. I beg, leave this matter for. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's look at the table again. I'm going to talk about Brighton this season so far, and I'm going to start with you, Okwe. Brighton, they're number 6. They're even above Chelsea and Liverpool. Okwe, talk to me.
Why did you have to mention Liverpool? Yeah, both Chelsea.
So, Brighton, I will share a point that I was sharing with Prof a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago concerning Brighton. Brighton has become a team that has a structure, right? They have a structure irrespective of the personnel involved in the team. And when I say personnel, I'm speaking from coach to players. And I think a whole lot of it has to be down to Graham Potter. You need to give credit to Graham Potter for the success of this current Brighton team. He's someone who was able to lay down a structure for the team, get the owners on board as well. It's very, very important for you to get the owners on board. If you don't get your employers on board with the project you see, it's going to be a problem for you. He has been able to do that. And irrespective of the players that have left Brighton, Brighton continues to improve every season. I'm talking about the likes of Ben White who has left, Trossard who has left, Bissouma who has left. My point is, anybody who leaves Brighton, it doesn't matter. Brighton will still soar. Potter has left Brighton. They've got Francesco Di Zerbi there. He's continuing the process that he met on ground. That's why great players in the likes of Caicedo, Mitoma. Big up to their scouting team as well. Absolutely fantastic. You need to give kudos to their scouting team. They know how to spot great talent. That's why Mitoma is there. That's how they got Caicedo. And that's why they have other good, solid players like the likes of Solly March and co. So, Brighton, I think they've also exceeded expectation this season.
Yeah.
It's safe to give them an A as well.
Let's look at the table where they are. Brighton 6, 31 points.
Team.
Wow,
Fantastic team.
Wow,
Liverpool
wow.
beating them in the FA Cup, and and it says a lot that Liverpool are going into that game as the underdog. So it says a lot about what has happened, transfer has gone on in that team. I was arguing with somebody some other time, and the person was like, it wasn't Graham Potter's work, and you can see Graham Potter's imprint all over the team, all over the Brighton's team at the moment. So they're a fantastic team, beautiful to watch. They have the style, they keep the ball very well. Even Dan Burn, that was a product of the Brighton team, of the Potter's regime. You can see the way he took the form to Newcastle. He knows how to play it, but they know how to keep the ball very well. So for me, they are a very good side, and I'll give them a B as well, maybe B. Yeah.
All right, B. That's for Brighton. B for Brighton. B for Brighton.
Just have
Smack the
something
like
to say,
on the
man.
video. Huh?
Yeah, I just have something to say.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know we're all rating Brighton B, A, C, but something Brighton should be wary of is they are turning into a team that is empowering other teams in the EPL. They lost Bissouma, lost Trossard. Now they're about to lose Caicedo, and I think they lost Cucurella as well. And
Yeah.
there's this thing that happens. We call well, we could say similar to what is happening in Nigeria, brain drain, people leaving. And I think Brighton is going to turn out to be it's a similar case study to use in Southampton. Southampton too was like an academy for other EPL teams, and we see where Southampton is right now. Fantastic job, the Brighton guys discovering these players. But the thing is, how long is it going to last? When you keep discovering players, you can't continue to discover players and at the end churn them out, sell them out in good money. Well, they're making good money, fantastic money. Look at for the past 1 year, they've made over 100 million. For the past 2 years, if we count the sale of Ben White, Cucurella, Trossard, and see, they've made massive money. But there will definitely be a downtime when it comes to churning out players again. Whoever is their board members, whoever is in charge of Brighton, they should take a look at Southampton. Southampton is a typical case study. Churn out good talent, and at the end, look at where Southampton is at the moment, struggling for relegation. I just hope Brighton don't turn out to be that Southampton club. But they are fantastic. They've done well ever since this guy left. The guy in Chelsea right now, Graham Potter.
Yeah.
You can see it's like they took it from level, and not from like gear 1 to gear 2. And respect has to be given to the new manager, because if he doesn't have his onions, if he doesn't know what he's doing, he could have met this team and still be where they are. But he took it from one level to another level. And I think for me, Brighton, I'll still give them a B, because there are some games they've lost this season, and I'm like, why did you lose this game? Despite how good they are. But they are on the horizon. If they can just keep their players together, possibly work on a project,
yes,
and we could see them, if they don't lose any of their players, the core players they have right now, we could see them contesting for top 4 next season, or possibly this season.
All right. There's one club I want to talk about before we go into another topic right now. It's Fulham. Fulham is disturbing me on that table. They are number 7. They're even above Liverpool and Chelsea. Can you imagine? Robbie, can you talk to me? What do you want to talk about Fulham?
Liverpool,
Robbie.
Well, I think so far so good. Fulham has been impressive. Let us give it to them. Their first game against Liverpool. In fact, let me say this one because it's actually a very bad thing. That team disrupted people's tickets because a lot of people actually played the fact that Liverpool were going to cook Fulham that day, but in fact, it was the other way around. The bushmeat decided to chase the hunter because a whole lot of things happened in that particular game. Liverpool were gasping for air. They were actually fighting for their dear life in that game, and I believe more or less that was what turned out to be let's say a prelude to what we are seeing so far starting Liverpool. But for Fulham have been impressive. They added the former Chelsea man Willian to their club. They got the Liverpool goalkeeper Leno, who has been very, very steady for the team. They have been stingy in terms of how much goal they let in, and I think their play has actually been impressive. On paper, they look like a team that you can easily say, "Oh, Man City will kill them," but they're to play any big team. Yes, this is a team that traditionally, when we hear about Fulham, it is a case of Fulham. It is going to be 10-0, it's going to be 6-0, it's going to be one very ridiculous scoreline. But we also saw recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, they defeated Chelsea by a lone goal. And that tells you more or less what the team is about. It was even their former player that got the first goal in that game, William. So it tells you what Fulham are doing right now. Nobody, I will tell you the truth, sincerely, I was not expecting to see Fulham in 7th place on the table. I was not expecting them. But this is a team that's high on 31 points. So this is a team that is high on confidence at this point in time. This is a team that is doing wonderfully well. So let's see. This is just the first half of the season. And just like we say, the second half of the season is going to be a different kettle of fish. The team we see in 7th, 8th position, they might be down the table. And no, I'm being serious here. And the Chelsea and Liverpool might probably even pick up. And we'll see them just.
You mean Chelsea and Liverpool?
Wait,
what are they?
Yes, that's
wait, what? Anything coming out from Jerusalem? Okay, help me now. It says, can you imagine? I mean,
I think Robbie is just trying to be a very, very, should I say, a very positive thinking analyst at this point in time. Robbie is going.
Thank you. Thank you.
look at where they are now. 9 and 10.
No, but you know what? If you want to give due respect to Liverpool and Chelsea, you can't say that it's possible for them to make the top four. Personally, I don't see it happening. Me, I'm a realist. I'm as realistic as it gets. I personally don't think Liverpool or Chelsea can get to where they belong. For Liverpool to get there, they need certain players back. I think Van Dijk needs to come back. Liverpool need to make quality signings in midfield, and they need a firing Diogo Jota back. They need Luis Diaz back, as far as I'm concerned. And the timelines for them coming back, and then when you now think about how to transition them back into the team, it will be difficult. For Chelsea, Graham Potter needs to find the right combination of the club of players he has on his hands, and then he needs goals. Chelsea,
yeah.
Chelsea.
Prof, what do you think about Chelsea right now? I mean,
Chelsea's
can you guys see me? I'm sorry, Okwe. Can you guys see me top 4 in this game right now? And
I mean, if you look at the table,
look at the table. Let me show you the table. Let me show you. Number 10.
We know where the table is. We know where the table is. Stop showing us the table.
That's like 10 points,
Yeah.
and it's unsurmountable. Something I think Chelsea can rally around and recover if they go on the run. If they have their players back, very importantly, I think they can go on the run. Same with Liverpool. We've seen Liverpool do this before when they came back and they finally made the top 4. So I think Chelsea can do it, especially like I said, if they have their players back. They have exciting players at the moment, who are going to be very hungry and they have a point to prove. New signings and everything. So if Graham Potter can get his selections right, like I think Robbie said, or Okwe said, sorry, then they can start to challenge. They can start to challenge for the top 4.
I rate. Can you guys make top 4? Be sincere. Don't.
You've asked me this question a couple of times, and I'll give you the same answer every time. Like I said, we've been in this situation before, and Klopp has made the top 4 every season he has been in the Premier League. So, I mean, look at those stats. How should I say otherwise?
So who is now going to come up for this top 4? Look at it.
Well, I think for me personally, I think Newcastle will not make the top 4. I think they're going to draw.
Newcastle might not eventually make the top 4.
Prof, I've got a question.
Prof, are you sure Newcastle will not make top 4 of all the teams there?
Nobody knows.
I've got a question for Prof, and I need an honest answer from him. For Chelsea, where will the goals come from? Where are the goals going to come from?
Okay, so when Tuchel made the top 4 when he came last 2 seasons, and the round I made the top 4 and won the Champions League. The goals were not flowing, by the way. It was Tuchel built his win on the defense. We had a strong defense. And with what I saw with Chelsea in the last 2 games, I think the defense is becoming stable with Badiashile, Thiago Silva, and Chalobah. I think we've get back-to-back clean sheets. Not easy. So I think he's building something from the back. I think you don't have to necessarily make it with goals. I think if you keep the back very, very short, keep your defense short. I think the likes of Modric, Raheem Sterling coming back, they will keep with 1 or 2 goals. At the end of the day, if James comes, goals will come. But then you have to keep the defense very, very, very tight. And I think with that, we can make it with the defense being very tight.
Well, you said it. I've already clipped it. You say you're still going to make
I have something to say. I have something to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, because look at this.
Yeah. No, I just want to reel out Chelsea's next fixtures. Quite tricky. Looking at the form they are in at the moment, I don't say they played the last 2 games they played Liverpool that was out of sorts, 6 and 7. Saw them play against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace had chances, but Crystal Palace were on a bad form of game. So their next run of games against Fulham, Derby, West Ham away, go to Champions League, play Dortmund away.
Chelsea win both games, by the way.
Chelsea, Hampton, play Tottenham. They still have like 4 or 5 of the top 6 still to play. Like I said, it's going to be a domino effect because I'm really looking at that Chelsea team, and I'm like, even when Tuchel was there before he got sacked, the confidence wasn't there. I don't know whatever was happening at the backroom staff or whatever was happening behind the scene, because we as football fans and people that love football, we don't know what happened behind the scene. Or it was so obvious something wasn't right. It was so obvious possibly Tuchel lost it, or possibly he had issues with new management. And so I don't know. That's one conspiracy theory. But from the outside, we could see that this is not Chelsea that won Champions League 2 seasons ago. This is not, because they still had like 90% of the squad that won, or 95% if I'm not mistaken, that won the Champions League. And yes, injury problems set in, and possibly even before the injury problems set in, we could see that form wasn't there. You saw the game against Arsenal. It was a lackluster Chelsea team that I saw. A team that didn't have the spark, a team that didn't have the momentum, a team that didn't have, you were at home, you couldn't even force the initiative, you couldn't even force Arsenal to play defensive. If not for Gabriel Jesus that lost a lot of opportunity that day, possibly that scoreline could be like 2 or 3, 4-0. But Chelsea fan coming with that boldness, saying they can still make the top 4. Like I said, it's going to be difficult. It is really going to be difficult. The Premiership has sailed to another level. The level of competition right now is immense. Even Arsenal that are sitting at the top are still not boasting, saying they can win the title, because they know anything can change, anything can happen. So for me, it's going to be difficult for Chelsea to make that top 4. It will be very, very difficult. And I think they need to walk their socks off. And this whole narrative of depending on players coming back from injury, you can make do with what you have and get the points on the board. I want to see in the next 5 games is what will really determine where Chelsea
where they're going. Or Sheyomi Dera, you say you want to say something.
What I would say quickly about that is that every manager has a downtime. I think where Chelsea got it wrong was sacking Tuchel. It's not all about injuries or no injuries. He was building a team. We saw what he did when he came in that season for Lampard, and what he did the following season. And immediately the new owners came in. Peter Cech left, Marina left, and these guys left. And he started asking the manager if he could play 4-4-3. I mean, I think that was where the discord started. So all of this, for me, I tell Chelsea fans, they should be blaming they are excited about the owners spending the money. But if I'm a Liverpool fan right now, I'll actually be worried about the way the owners are going about their business.
Chelsea fan, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They should be worried about.
You're just citing an example.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Yeah. So they should be worried about where the club is going and the way they are handling their transfer business.
They're just
instead of.
In fact, I wanted to ask Prof. I wanted to ask Prof or Sheye, how do you guys see the signing? Just somebody you just see one player, let's go, let's sign it. What's going on?
Honestly, I have never been this excited in a long time about Chelsea. Like I said, no. I've been following for over 20 years, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, since Antonio Conte,
tell me.
I repeat, since Antonio Conte, Chelsea has not mounted the title challenge. You understand? Tuchel has not been there since then. There's a reason why Chelsea they've not mounted the title challenge since Antonio Conte left. You understand me? So it is not about whether it's not a Potter issue. It is not a Graham Potter issue. It's not a Todd Bowley issue. For me, Todd Bowley is going the right way about it. Signing exciting talents, grooming them with a very young, exciting coach. I can tell you that you are not ready for what's going to happen to Chelsea next.
Oh my goodness, Jay, are you?
It's going to be like a storm. What's coming to be like a storm? I'm not happy here because I love the direction that the club is going with young players. Over time, the manager is not under pressure. He's not under pressure to be sacked as long as he's getting the results. I love what's going on. I'm excited about the signings. I'm very, very excited.
What, Sheye? You want to tell me something?
John, I just want to say. No, Sheye can go on. No, Sheye can go on.
Sheye, talk.
I actually think you can look at this from both sides. I understand the reservations about the maybe underwhelming transition from Abramovich's era to Todd Bowley's era, where they let go of the likes of Petr Cech, the likes of Marina Granovskaya. In a sense, you can say that maybe they could have just left them in situ and allowed them to allow a smoother transition. But I just feel that these are just teething problems, and eventually they will get things right. You can see that they've brought on a recruitment team. Eventually, I feel things will move smoothly, but these are just teething problems. Regarding Tuchel's departure, there were issues with Tuchel and the new owners, more or less not seeing eye to eye on several things. I think the new owners wanted to build around a young crop of players, whereas Tuchel wanted instant results. So that was a major issue regarding how things broke down. The new owners want a collaborative feel around the club. They called Tuchel in for meetings several times, but he preferred the previous the way the club was running under the previous regime, where it was just Marina and Peter Cech running the day-to-day of the club, and they just more or less he told them about the weaknesses in the team, and they just brought players for him. Whereas Todd Bowley more or less wanted or he wants a more collaborative feel where each person has a say, and then they come to a conclusion. I think that's something they want. That's something they've seen in Graham Potter, in the sense that he also has his ideas regarding how the game is, whereas Tuchel just wanted to focus more on the coaching, and that was one of the issues that led to his departure. And regarding the new signings, I have had issues in a sense with some of the signings, because I felt they should have focused more on the midfield that I've been screaming out for a while that it's really mediocre. They need about 2 or 3 profiles, and that's in the middle of the park. And obviously, Kante's injury has not helped. But they've gone out to bring in wide attackers, and second strikers in Yao Felix, who I feel obviously is an upgrade to what they have. Okwe mentioned that the team lacks goals, but I actually like what Prof said, where he brought up the defensive solidity. Of course, it's just 2 games, so that's a small sample size. But I feel in the last few weeks, I've actually seen green shoots of something really happening at Chelsea, because I feel performances.
Sorry, 1 second. I want to quickly talk about this game. Sorry, 1 second. This game is about to go down right now. Manchester City versus Arsenal. Okay, do you have the lineup? Because I'm trying to.
Yes, I do.
Let's start with Arsenal. What lineup do you have there?
For Arsenal, is very interesting.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Right.
Last show, you asked me what was my preference, and I told you personally I want Team B to go out and let Arsenal focus on the Premier League. But it seems like Arteta was caught between 2 minds, and he's playing it safe. So you've got a mix of Team A and Team B. In goal, we've got the American McTominay. Right back, we've got Tomiyasu.
Wow.
An interesting inclusion, Rob Holding. This is not someone I expected.
Holding?
Yeah, Rob Holding. That's
the guy
not someone as against Manchester City.
Yes, Holding to hold things down.
Holding will not feel himself.
Of course, the unbenchable Gabriel Magalhaes. We have Tierney in for Zinchenko, Xhaka and Partey. That is a solid midfield as always. The both of them.
They will carry injury. Solid midfielder. They will carry injury. Now I go clear. Okay.
Martin Odegaard on the bench. So Fabio Vieira is starting in his place. The new signing, Leandro Trossard, gets his first start for Arsenal. Saka and Nketiah up top. So it's a mix of Team A and Team B for Arsenal. For Manchester City, the only exclusion from their first team is just the goalkeeper. So Ederson on the bench.
Everybody.
Exactly. Pedro Moreno starting.
Alan.
However, Alan is playing. The 10 outfield players for Manchester City. This is Manchester City currently in terms of form. We've got Rico Lewis at right back, John Stones and Akanji at the back, Nathan Ake is playing left back, Rodrigo De Bruyne, Gundogan in midfield, Mahrez, Grealish, Haaland. So it's going to be an exciting game. Oh my God. Very, very interesting game. No one should miss this game.
For me, I'll quickly speak about the game. I think I was expecting Arteta to go full strength, but for me the core of the team is the goalkeeper Ramsdale, William Saliba, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, and in the core he has benched Odegaard, which is a very important player, and Partey is there, so he's not playing it. I think he has gone with a strong team. Also, Saka is there, Partey is there. This is the core of the team. I think he has gone with a strong team. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. I can't expect him to start all his full team, by the way, because he's in a pole position to go for the title. Pep is chasing. Pep needs. I said it the other day. Hold on. I said the other day, if Pep loses this FA Cup, what it means is it is potentially going, and Arsenal are in pole position to win the league. So if Arsenal go with the league and lose this FA Cup, he's out of the Carabao Cup. You're left to just the Champions League. It's unimaginable for Pep to go trophyless. So for me, I think Pep is taking this FA Cup very, very serious, because it might be the only trophy he might go with this season.
Irates, going to this game, what's your take?
Why shouldn't anyone take this FA Cup serious, especially when you didn't play in midweek? I think only Man United was the only big team that played in midweek. What are you resting the squad for? Why should Jurgen Klopp rest players against Brighton on Sunday? Does that make any sense? Will your squad go 2 weeks without playing any games? Why are you resting players?
Different. No, you can't compare. Arsenal, like I said, they are chasing the first title.
So what does that have to do? They have one game. They have one game this
title.
week. Just one game. So why?
No.
Why are they?
Yeah, I know, but like it's a squad game. Arsenal can't afford to lose. For instance, Odegaard plays today and he gets injured.
What if Partey gets injured? What if Xhaka gets injured? For me,
you're limiting the risk.
There is no excuse, honestly. You are going to the Etihad Stadium. We all know how it is at the Etihad Stadium, and everyone is looking forward to those 2 games coming up in February and April. And like I said, this game, it's more of just a game. It can give a psychological advantage for any team that wins this game. So don't just overlook the game that, it's just an FA Cup game. No, it actually means a lot for both teams, honestly. And like I said, there's no need. Will players just be training for 2 weeks? Won't you play the players? So they will go 2 weeks without playing until the following weekend. Why are you resting the players? Start your complete 11 and go for it.
I think if the game is turning on its head, you'll bring in those players. So, I'm not Odegaard. We'll see Odegaard at some point in the game.
All right. Is going to this game, Arsenal, what's your take on this match? Is it very important for Arteta with this lineup? Do you think something can, or you guys are focusing only on the league title?
Well, I'm not part of the boardroom in Arsenal, so I would have just given the S. But just to piggyback on what Myron said.
But are you disappointed? Are you disappointed with this, with the lineup?
I can't be disappointed, because there was a stats that came out yesterday or today that if you look at the number of changes Arsenal had made in the EPL after 19 games, I think there were just only 14 changes, being the team that has made the fewest changes in terms of personnel on the pitch. So they are started there. Technology has really helped management, the management side of football. These players, they're on data, they see the loads that they are on. And when a player is getting to that limit, I think it's advisable for the manager to rest. That's where you have a squad. That's where you have a squad of over 18 players. So are you saying, for me, he would have prepped these guys, he would have prepped them. They know the enormity, they know how intense this cup tie is. And just to piggyback what Irit said, I've seen situations where you could win a team in this competition, or possibly in 2 competitions, and when it gets to the 3rd competition, they win you. There is no psychological advantage anywhere. Even if Man City wins today's game, I don't see any psychological advantage. Taking back to 2004, 2005,
I think
that season, when between Arsenal and Chelsea, Arsenal defeated Chelsea home and away in the Premiership. Even in the FA Cup they met, Arsenal defeated them. But when it got to the Champions League in the semi-final, I think it's quarter-final or semi-final, Chelsea, just that late goal by, I don't know if it's Lampard or who, at the Highbury, when they drew that game, 2-2, when they qualified on away goals rule. It was important at that time. Imagine Arsenal beating Chelsea home and away in the Premiership, beating them in the FA Cup. But when it got to the crunch time, Chelsea took what they really wanted, which was qualifying into the semi-final of the Champions League. So that psychological warfare, for me, in my own opinion, it doesn't work. This is football. If the players, when they cross that white line, if they give in their all, possibly they could win. Like today, Manchester City started with a full-fledged squad, like Okpe said, bar the keeper, Ederson. And you can see Arsenal, he decided to rotate. So let's see, it's going to be fun. It's going to be, for me, it's another test because Man City will not play them this season. I think it was only Man City and Everton will not play this season. But we've been tested in other games. And possibly, if Arteta says these are the players I want to start this game with. He's in every right, and he takes the hammer. If he loses, we blame him. If he wins, we praise him. So that's just it. That's psychological warfare for me. It doesn't really.
Effect of the psychological advantage everything was talking about, I think is real. I think when you're dealing with a manager like Pep Guardiola, look at what Tuchel did to him. Tuchel beat him in the league, and then what happened? Pep tinkered. He went to the 4-4-2 with Aguero and Jesus in the FA Cup. Pep beat him again. What happened in the final in the Champions League? He tinkered again. He went without a DMF, and Tuchel beat him again. I think when you're dealing with a manager like Pep, I think it's important. That's where I'll come in defense of what you said. It's important that you try and win this FA Cup match, because then you can now put him under pressure to tinker again. We all know that's what he does. He might tinker again with formation and not get it right against you in the league, and you might have a psychological advantage.
For me, that's not a deal breaker.
Sorry, Prof. I totally agree with what Prof said, because it is imperative that Arsenal get something out of this game. Yes, it might not be a big deal. It might not, see, I actually get your point. It might not be a big deal. Yes, Arsenal can afford to lose this game, and of course, but see, there is something about these games and the way they play out. Arsenal needs something out of this match, even if it is a draw, and maybe they find a way to just survive the night. They need something out of this game. Yeah. Personally, I am not ruling Arsenal out. I believe Arsenal can still win this game tonight. I believe Man City can win the game.
I think I lost Robbie there. Robbie,
let me just say on what Robbie. I don't know, maybe because of network, Gremlins took him away. 2020 season, 2019-2020 season, Man City beat Arsenal home and away. We didn't even score a goal against Man City in the EPL. But it got to the crunch time, the semi-final of the FA Cup, and Arsenal won 2-0. Was there any psychological warfare happening in the head of the Arsenal players? That was when
it can happen.
Hold on. No, that's what I'm saying, because you guys are on the opinion that this is the hard and fast rule. If Arsenal loses tonight, that means Pep gets the psychology, or he wins psychological warfare into the remaining 2 EPL games. That's what I understand of what you guys are saying. But I'm just giving an example to counter it. 2020 season, 2019-2020 season, Man City defeated Arsenal home and away without Arsenal scoring a goal in the EPL. And when it got to the semi-final of the FA Cup, Arsenal won 2-0. Was there any psychological warfare playing in the head of the Arsenal players at the management? So for me, like I said, it is not a hard and fast rule. Arsenal could win tonight and still go ahead to lose the remaining 2 EPL games they are meant to play Man City. Arsenal could lose tonight and still go ahead to win both.
So what's the breaking news?
What's the breaking news, please?
Okay, so another player to be signed by Chelsea right now. Talking about from Olympique Lyon.
I'm loving it.
Let me
they will soon sign the way they are going.
Here's the funny thing about this dude, right? What makes it so funny is that a couple of days ago, Laurent Blanc, the coach of Olympique Lyon,
he said it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. He said Malo Gusto is not going anywhere. He said, what's his name now? Gusem Awa is not going anywhere. He basically said that he has been assured by the owners that his big name players are not going anywhere. Well, lo and behold, less than 30 minutes ago, Fabrizio Romano just made it official. Chelsea have an agreement in place with Olympique Lyon. Chelsea are going to pay a fee in excess of.
We have to do something about it.
So, Iris, right? the question you were asking about Arsenal, I think you should be asking that question here. You should be asking that question as you guys are signing.
I don't
seriously, Chelsea.
I think it only means one thing. Aspilicueta is most likely going to leave.
To be honest, because now I hear Brighton
can play as right back.
Chelsea needs a right back. Chelsea needs a right back.
What are you guys on about? So what I'm saying is, okay, right now, this morning, I'm hearing Brighton valuing Caicedo, who has only been in the Premier League for 1 year. I mean, it's not even up to a year. 100 million in the summer. Why? What is the meaning of all this? Why would I go ahead and spend 100 million on Caicedo? So this is one of the things. This is one of the influences we'll be saying when Chelsea is bringing in big money for all of this.
There's one more clause. There's one more clause in the contract. There's one more clause. Just one more clause. Gusto is not going to join Chelsea in January. So there's an agreement in place. Same thing with Nkunku. because Leon don't want him to leave now, he will join Chelsea in the summer.
Well,
What's
we
the
did
point?
we did
So,
the same for
sorry,
Naby
what
Keita.
was the transfer fee?
30 million euros.
That's all.
We don't
So
spend
Irit
any.
is fair. Irit is fair to say. Okay, 30 million euros is equivalent to 27 million pounds. So it's fair to say 27 million pounds.
That's
Yeah,
fair, that's fair.
Apart from Modric, we not spent outrageously, to be honest. You know, we are doing okay. We are doing okay.
I really don't understand this sense of enthusiasm.
Hey.
I really don't.
But the funny thing is, it's only Prof. Sheye is the other way around.
The politician.
Something that Prof knows that we're not aware of.
I swear to
Maybe
you, Prof.
there was
You be politician.
before Don switched the topic to the Manchester City Arsenal FA Cup tie. We were talking about where you ask how do you see Chelsea scoring goals, and I think someone was saying they have a manager, Graham Potter. For me, this is my opinion. I am not sold out. If I were to be an Arsenal fan and the board tells me that the next manager we're bringing on board is Graham Potter, I'll be pissed, because looking at his record, this is a manager that has managed Austin Sund. I hope I didn't murder that name. Swansea City, Brighton Hove and Albion, and currently with Chelsea. And he has finished 15th, 16th, and 9th. Look at his personal, look at his individual. Look at it as a manager.
You're a bad person.
Spence
Always.
2017, 2016, 2017. I don't know whatever trophy that is. Division 1, Nora, 2012. Division 2, Norland, 2011. For me, I just want someone, because it defies logic. If you're saying you're putting the responsibility of Chelsea, which the so-called fans keep saying they've been successful for the last 20 years, and you're bringing a manager that doesn't have a successful record, despite him being in management since 2011, we cannot lay hold of how successful this guy is. I know you want to bring in the Arteta argument. Arteta, what has he done? But Arteta is an outlier, and we understand what outlier means. In every scenario, there is always an outlier. And I don't want to bring the comparison of Arteta and Graham Potter here on this. I don't even have that energy to talk about it. But the focus here is on Chelsea. How does Graham Potter helps Chelsea back to the successful years? For me, it defies logic. I want someone to prove it to me that Graham Potter, looking at the record that I've seen, can turn the tides around in Chelsea. Possibly, maybe I'm dreaming and I need someone to wake me up.
Prof will tell us maybe the next show how Graham Potter will actually turn this thing up. Prof, talk to me. Is there anything arrangement? I just want to right now.
I'm actually, because I was very excited about the transfer, the Madagascar. I thought it was a January transfer. Only for Pep to break my heart again to say it's not a January transfer. But we'll take that. I mean, at least we have a cover for Reece James now. So that's a good signing. That's pretty much all I have to say now. Hello? Nobody can hear me.
I think we lost Prof. I think we lost the right.
Here. I'm here.
I think we lost the Don.
Done. Is everybody still there?
Yeah, we're here, Prof.
I think that's the end of the show, I guess.
Let's see.
All right. Guys, I think because of our time, I got to end this streaming. What's your score prediction is? Are you guys, what's your score prediction? Arsenal fans. Okay.
For me, I've been saying this for the past how many weeks? I don't mind losing this game. I don't mind.
Hey, wow.
say
You don't
I
mind losing like
am.
no,
six
no,
nil.
no, no, no.
Hold on,
I
hold
think,
on.
I think
Please, I don't want to
I
hear
think
this
it's
Come
one.
on, before
You
you guys
must win
come
this
for
one.
me.
about it.
Before
Because
you guys
knows
Arsenal
that-
and
he knows
no,
that
no, no, no,
Before
no,
you
no,
guys
no.
come for me.
Okay.
Bro, please
He
let me
knows.
just make
You
my
must
point.
He's not
Hold on.
confident about
I
it. He's not
kept
confident about
saying,
it. He's not
guys,
confident about it.
chill,
He's also-
chill. This is not Chelsea we're talking about here. We're talking about Arsenal. I kept saying this. and
Who
I've
is
been
who is
consistent.
Arsenal? Egbami.
I kept
Arsenal, top of the table.
I kept saying,
Top of the table. After how many
well,
years?
but literally, we're talking about Man City versus Arsenal, FA Cup tie, right? We're not talking about Chelsea. We're done talking about Chelsea. I see. For me, I'm constant. I'm always consistent in whatever I say. I kept saying it that these matches, I don't mind losing the FA Cup, so I can concentrate on the Europa and the Premiership, because the squad right now is too thin, and we're scared. Imagine losing Partey and Xhaka at the same time. Trying to buy Caicedo. Look at what Brighton Hove and Albion is telling us. Come and bring 70 million pounds, 100 million pounds, and the window is very short. 4 days to go. So for me, there's some competition you can just give you. If Arsenal win, I will be happy because we played a good competitor. But for me, I'm not too gassed about this game. I said it again. In the EPL fixture at the Etihad, I don't mind losing the 3 points. But coming to the Emirates, pick the 3 points, and that's it. It's a game of mathematics. Go ask Alex Ferguson to tell you.
All right, guys, I gotta leave right now.
Yeah, my score prediction is Man City 3, Arsenal 1.
Man City, Arsenal. All right.
Why are you stealing my prediction? Man City 3, Arsenal 1.
All right, people, smash the like on the video. We
After
gotta go
they are
right now.
packing their bags, they are packing their bags.
Guys, thank you so much. Same time next week. I hope Arsenal wins this one. You guys must win. No, sorry, because I will come for you. I don't care. You must win.
Well, you know, all the cynics, they've been waiting for Arsenal to just lose.
We are waiting.
I don't care if Arsenal wins. Arsenal will change the Premier League and Europa League.
Exactly, man.
All right, thank you so much, guys. We got to end up for here. Bye, guys.